Hey, we're recording, so hey, should we just start the show? I don't
I think
know.
we should just
What do
start
you
the
think?
show. Yes, yes.
Just start the
I vote
show?
we start. Yes.
Okay, should we talk about pens or should I do some kind of intro?
Let's do some type of intro.
All right. Greetings, everybody. It is, September 16th, 2021, something like that. Me and Nurgle are the only two here right now. We just short bust our way into getting the stage working. We think it's working. We got Georg recording, I think. Ty is not going to be here because he's a nice guy. Dubs isn't here. He said he'd probably be late. Trex will be late because this is the night he records his other podcast called Tone Control. Who else? Data said he'd be late. He'll be here eventually. Hate said he'd be super, super late. So I'd assume he's not going to be here at all. So right now, me and Nurgle are kind of manning this show. I think anybody that wants to come in and talk, I only see one person in the audience right now. If Manituk wants to come in, what do they do? Wave? Raise their hand?
Raise their hand, I think. Mommy and Daddy left us the keys to the car, so hey.
So anybody that wants to be on the show gets to be on the show. Should I drag those other guys?
Not against their will, no.
Oh, that's not very good.
That might not make for good quality podcasting.
If they start cussing at stuff, I'm going to type in general that they can head to the stage. Okay, well, now let's just get on with the program. Loose Screws, what you say, like us on IHOP and eBay us twice a week. Our website is loosescrews.com where you can buy merch. I think we sell cars and stuff like that. Let's do the intros. Who's with me tonight? That's right, I already told you, Nurgle. How's your week been, Nergs?
Pretty good. I've had a chance to play some this week. Work has not been nearly as much clown car music. We're getting rained on like crazy from the remnants of the hurricane over Louisiana, but this too shall pass. No flooding, so doing pretty good.
Well, you survived the last hurricane. What hurricane? Flippity Flop or what was that one called?
Ida.
I had a friend's dog named Ida. That dog was a bit of a hurricane. It was one of those coon hounds, those big howly motherfuckers.
Like to run in a circle and chase its tail?
Yeah, or if you like laid down on the ground, would just start beating you to death with its front paws. It was an interesting animal. I'll give you that.
Okay. Yeah. That's what we'll call it.
Yeah, interesting. I myself have been playing quite a bit because I've been doing a lot of training, which involves watching videos a lot. So while I do that, I went out into the black, as I told you. I said, "See you later, suckers," and I am way the hell out there these days.
So just so that we're clear on what's going on, you are zoning out on the training you're supposed to be doing so you can play a video game while they scroll by in the background?
I wouldn't say that because what is ADHD? I need to be doing multiple things. Like right now I'm doing multiple things while talking to you. Like I'm trying to figure out this whole streaming channel thing and stuff. Aha, there's a button.
Well, chances are we're not recording anyway, so.
All right. There's a damn good chance. And I've also, how do I do this? Let's try this.
Well, that didn't work. You removed yourself from the channel.
Yes, I did. That was the wrong button.
Quality podcasting experience.
Okay,
quality.
I'm going to bring in another person here. Manituk raised his hand, so we're going to bring him in.
All right.
I think. I hit the button. Oh, he has to hit accept. So we're starting to figure this thing out. So while we're waiting for him to get in here, I also have been playing a lot of CQC in the afternoon. So I'll do more training in the morning, and then I'll, mid-afternoon is when the European gang, all of the elites and, multiple time prestige players. They all play team deathmatch during the day, and that is a lot of fun playing with all those guys who are just sickly good, and so I've been doing that too. So
all the people with the multiple prestiges.
Yes, and I play with them, and it's working my way closer to elite. Let me just tell you something about getting to elite in CQC. It is there are grinds in this game, and everybody knows the grinds in this game. CQC, in order to reach elite, you need like 3.6 million experience. So that's everything's relative. So it's like, that doesn't sound like a lot. But to put that in perspective, if you win a match in a death match, it'll earn you about 1,000 experience, depending on how many kills you get. It could be a little bit more, could be a little bit less. Now that one match, so then 1,000 times what equals 3.6 million?
Don't make me do math. Don't make me do math.
All right, 3,600.
36. Yeah, okay.
3,600 matches you would have to win.
Win.
A match.
Yeah.
A win. Now a match lasts about 7.5 minutes.
I don't like where this is headed.
Yeah.
No.
So it gets crazy long. But like now, when you go combat, to get combat elite, when you get to deadly, you've reached the halfway point, right? And then it's a grind that last bit. CQC, you reach legend, which is the rank right before elite, takes 1.6 million to get there. You need another 2 million for that last rank to get to elite. So just an idea. You think you're like, oh, I'm so close. You're not even halfway. I just passed the halfway point, like 100 matches ago. So I got a long ways to go.
And you've got like 13,000 kills.
Yeah, 13,000 kills.
A little over 15,000 now, I think.
Oh, Lord.
So I've been playing quite a bit here the last week, pretty much every day. Now, before you guys are hearing another voice in here, I don't think we've ever had you on the show. This is our good buddy Manituk. He's around. Oh, I said, hold on. But we'll let Manituk do his intro, and then, well, I see hate in the thing, but he hasn't requested to speak, and he can just hop in whenever he wants, so I don't have to worry about him. Manituk, tell us a little bit about yourself, and that's all I have.
Just a commander out in Oklahoma. I've been playing for about a year now. Found the podcast by, I don't know, just listening for Elite Podcasts, and I heard Ty with this southern accent and figured, I moved to Oklahoma. I might as well try to get my accent back. I lived in Connecticut for about 16 years, so moving to Oklahoma is a bit of a shock. This whole 2020 has been a thing.
Yes, it has.
Major life changes.
Especially since it's 2021 now.
Oh, yeah, and it's still going on.
Yes, it has. Now, what are you doing in game these days?
Doing normal BGS stuff. Just did a 640 Cassiopeia. Nurgle did a maybe 20 imp in there just in the last hour or two.
Thanks.
And doing courier missions for that one election.
We have to let Manituk tell everybody about the rig he bought when he decided to really go in on Elite.
Actually, I was just looking for an office chair. I was going to spend about $200 or whatnot, looking at Facebook Marketplace, and a guy from the Air Force Base was selling a DIY $3 gaming chair. It's a full, like 3 feet up off the ground. It'll do 3-axis. Came with an old Logitech or SideTech X45 joystick. For $200.
That's ridiculous.
Damn.
It's got 50 amp or 50 to 1 motors on it. She's a lot of fun, but I'm in a duplex now and it thumps the floor.
Oh boy. Well, I just want to
A lot.
check on one side of that though, because you mentioned it's 2 to 3 feet off the floor, and those that know have been around a while. Remember the time that you fell off your electric bike and landed on your face? So does
Oh
this thing
yeah.
come with a full 5-point harness?
Oh yeah, it's got a harness. It's got a racing seat out of jegs, a real lightweight seat.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
be safe. Wear a helmet.
Oh, but right now I've got it strapped so it can't tilt around just when I'm climbing in and out of it. Because
Okay.
otherwise it just flops around all over the place, and I got to try to stay balanced.
Okay,
It
God.
would be
Well.
it would be really unfortunate to get excited, in the middle of a CQC match and fall out of your chair. That would be bad.
Yeah. There has been a couple of times before the neighbors really yelled at me. I've had my Quest 2 on, and you really can get into it. Because
Oh, I bet.
this chair puts the controls, and I've got the X56, and it puts the controls right there. Like they're in game in the right spot. And when you wiggle your controller, you can look down and you can see your hand moving and stuff. And my feet are in the right spot. I mean, this chair was like built for Elite. Actually, it was built for DCS. He was playing fighter games. He was a pilot.
Yeah,
But I just loved this thing. And
that's
yeah,
cool.
I just wish I could wire it up and thump the neighbors more. But yeah.
One day.
Speaking of your neighbors, you keep posting in in general chat about your crazy neighbor in the trash cans, and I, honest to God, am totally confused by that entire situation. Is it something you would care to talk about, to clarify for me?
This town in the middle of Oklahoma, I'm in Enid, Oklahoma. It's like halfway between Oklahoma City and Wichita, Kansas. Population of about 50,000 people. And this place is spun monkey meth the F out.
It's full of
This
tweakers.
place is freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, you can swear, man. You can swear.
It's just, I can't explain it. I mean, when I was in Connecticut, I was, living out in the woods, itty bitty town, 1,500 people max in that little town. And here, you wake up at 3:00 in the morning, and take a pee, maybe smoke a half a cigarette, and I stick my head up over the fence. And in like 15 minutes, I might see 5 or 6 different people kicking on bicycles, just rolling around and the lady I keep talking to, I live in between 2 schools. One school, I can read their sign out front, and the other school's a block over. Well, in between me and the school is this house. I guess she sublets a couple of rooms or whatnot. But about once a week, they stay up for like 2 to 3 days. And then sleep for like 3 days. And then stay up for like a week or 2.
Tweaking.
Like twice a week, the ambulance shows up. Shortly after that, lady's out cleaning her kitchen garbage can all night. Literally
What?
out in the front yard with the water hose and scrubby brushes, spotlight, 3-4 hours on a single kitchen garbage can.
That's because everything from the neck up is fried.
Yep.
Now,
And that's
for
what I
our
mean
friend,
by washing the garbage can. It's just a tweaker out in her yard being a tweaker. And it
All
just
right.
annoys me that, yeah, there'll be some mornings where she's still out there going at that garbage can, arms just tore up. I don't know what the hell she's using, Ajax, whatnot. But they're dropping kids off at school, and she's out there just going down on this garbage can.
It's literally
ridiculous.
she's just cleaning a garbage can. I always wondered if it
Oh
was
yeah,
a
literally
euphemism for
just cleaning a
something,
garbage
or
can, man.
it's literally just cleaning a garbage can.
Yeah,
I'm
But-
speechless.
I did not understand how bad the middle of the country had gotten in the last, decade or so.
Well,
it's-
for our European listeners, this isn't normal. Just saying.
I hope it ain't.
Nobody
Man.
who listens to this show should think any of us are normal.
Well, yeah, we've definitely cleared that up. I see more people in the audience. If anybody else wants to come on, yeah, you're more than welcome. Just raise your hand like a good little child, because the parents are away. But right now, I think we'll do a squadron update. I don't know how to make the noises. If Data was here, he tried before. So let's go squadron update.
All right,
Go ahead,
so
Virgil.
so we expanded last night. I know last week we had talked about we were going to end up in a system called Mezavini because that's where the opening was, and because of the rules for how expansions go, we were going to fall into that opening preferentially. There was a very slim chance that we could have ended up somewhere else. I believe I used the term mathematically improbable.
Mhm.
In the meantime, the mathematically improbable happened. And you know, I don't have words. There was, like I said, there was a set of conditions that could happen that involved us pushing a faction into retreat and our expansion going the maximum length and a whole bunch of other things that, certainly there was a chance for that to happen, but it was a very, very slim chance. And that actually did not happen. What happened was another even more hilariously improbable chain of events that another faction, an NPC faction, actually jumped into Mezavini ahead of us and took that slot that we would have fallen into, bypassing at least two other systems that we thought, or that I thought, they were going to slot into. And there's a whole bunch of reasons why that happened, which are vanishingly improbable. But all the holes in the Swiss cheese lined up and slap my ass and call me Susan. We ended up in 6 Andromeda like we planned originally anyway, in a method that I couldn't have made up ahead of time. But we are now in 6 Andromeda, beginning tonight with the tick. This is an invasion, so we're going to go to war. The winner stays in the system, the loser gets kicked out. So that will start, like I said, at the tick. Also starting tonight at the tick, we're entering a war for control of the NLTT 1139 system. It's small, it's in the middle of nowhere, but it's ours, and we've planted the flag. We're going to take over. As Manituk alluded to earlier, we have a conflict of interest going on in V640. We are pushing purple comms over BD52 in an election because we need to push BD52 down. And also in V640, we are still trying to push ourselves and the Justice Party together at the top of the system so we can fight them for the last major orbital station in the system. And that would pretty much close out V640 in terms of BGS work, because we'll have more or less complete control at that point. So we go from feast or famine. We've had weeks where we didn't have very much going on, and now in the span of 24 hours, we have a whole bunch going on.
Cool.
Yay, content.
I'm way the hell out in the way out in the black, so I haven't been paying the closest of attention.
No,
now that
it's
you've
real
gone
simple.
through that,
You can just take the Sidewinder path back.
No, you have no idea how much data I'm carrying. Now we've had another commander join us from the community. This is Bonzo Man. He had a new small apartment show up at his house today. Oh no, a new PC showed up at his house today. How are you, Bonzo? Tell us about yourself.
I'm doing good. So I'm in a small apartment with a huge PC. So that's an experience. I've got a new HOTAS that is very, very space consuming. Is that the word?
What'd you get?
It's the X52, but I have a 4-foot desk that's built into the cubby, or not a cubby, but it's built into the wall. And
oh boy.
Yeah, so I have no space. I can either do flying or I can do mouse and keyboard. I cannot do both because I need the mouse goes where the flight stick goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been playing Elite for 4 or 5 years now, and been on loose screws for a couple months, I think, at this point. And
you're one of the more active people around these days. It kind of died down when Odyssey launched on us a little bit, but nightly you seem to be one of the more frequent people showing up in the Discord and hanging out. No, it's great. I'm glad, and now I'm glad you got your new PC. Game look better for you.
It's got some. I need to do some fine tuning with the settings. It's doing some weird stuff with pop in. in like the menu, where it shows your ship in the menu. Yeah, it had my Anaconda up, and as I got everything on Ultra, and then it popped in like 3 different stages once I like actually opened it.
Have you gone? It's brand new PC. I know I talked to you about getting your RAM set earlier. Did you update your drivers by chance?
I'm trying to get the drivers updated. I'm trying to get all the stuff done, but I don't think I'm doing it right.
Because a lot of times, they'll just put a fresh install of Windows in there and whatever drivers happen to be there and ship it. So you may need to
I'm working
do
on
a lot of
updating
updating.
It. I tried to update the motherboard earlier, but all it did was send me the extract packages, and I have no idea what to do with that. Like, there was no README. There was no, like, hey, install here thing.
Yeah, if you're trying to flash a new BIOS onto your motherboard, don't bother with that at this point.
Oh, okay.
And for people who are listening to this, like over the weekend or maybe the week after we recorded, when we say Bonzo Man just got a new PC, we mean he literally unboxed it like 3 hours ago.
Today.
Yeah. So it's very new.
Yeah, it's still nice and shiny. There's only one smudge on it that I need to clean off. And I just got a notice that the antivirus just now set up. So
what antivirus? Windows, I hope. You don't have other.
ESET. It's the one that apparently they give to all the new computers they sell out.
Oh God, no! Get that off of there. Make sure to uninstall that. I mean, when I buy a pre-built, I'll just put a fresh install of Windows on when it shows up, just so there's not any of that bloatware crap in there, especially third-party virus softwares. I'm sure there's some security guy, IT guy going, you don't know what you're talking about. Fuck you. I've had a virus and in 20 years, I know what the hell I'm doing. God, knock on wood. Hold on.
Famous last words.
I guess I'll have to figure it. There's going to be a lot of figuring shit out for the next few days. But guess we'll have to figure that stuff out.
It used to be you had to have, a bunch of different things, to help protect yourself. But Windows has gotten really pretty freaking good at protecting itself if you're keeping yourself updated and stuff. I still run malware bites like once a week and stuff like that. But I also am not going to like lawnchairporn.com or anything like that. So I try to keep myself relatively, off of really shady websites. But
relatively.
I really want to type in lawnchairporn.com and see what it goes to, but I'm not going to do it. And if you go there and you get nasty viruses, it's not my doing. You cannot hold me legally responsible.
Sure about that?
Yeah.
Oh, you're legally irresponsible.
Well, the world should have a restraining order against me for sure. Anybody been following the Galnet stuff? Anybody that's here? Anybody want to go through it? I know nothing, literally. I know like the Thargoids attacked.
That's pretty much it.
I didn't even know that.
Salvation earlier this week sent out a message over Galnet instead of contacting commanders directly, which is a little odd, predicting an imminent attack on the Corvair system, the name of which eludes me because I didn't write it down beforehand. Aegis immediately said, we can't confirm this, and by the way, we're all shut down while everybody investigates how incompetent we are. And then, lo and behold, the Thargoids showed up today on the regularly scheduled day for community events to begin, attacked said system. I understand we have systems burning, there are rescue missions going on, and there are non-human signal sources popping up all over that system.
Huh. So if you need to Fed rank, now's the time, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I would think so.
Is it just Fed systems in that area?
I think it's just that system that this is occurring.
Oh, just the one
system?
Oh,
it's just the one? Do you know if it's Fed or not? I guess.
I do not know.
It's just the one system. What's that, Cornsar?
Something, yeah.
SAR. There's 2 stations there. They're both Fed.
Oh, okay.
Somebody did tell me that you should take your anti-seizure medication if you're playing an Odyssey and attempting to do the station rescues, though, because the lighting in Odyssey makes it really flashy and stuff like that. I'd love to go give it a go, but station rescues are one of the. They're one of the. If you haven't done it, go frickin' do it, because it is a freaking blast, but realize you can't use your docking computer. You have to be able to land. So if you don't manually dock, don't
Yeah.
go do it.
And you have to land under pressure because it's hot in there.
And
You
you
got to get in
blasted around.
fast. You get bounced
Heat
around
sink.
by explosions. There's shit floating around. It is a ton of fun. Have some heat sink launchers and fly in fast. If you really want a challenge, going with like a beluga, because no docking computer, flying through
Ooh.
all the debris and getting in and out. It is a ton of fun. It is challenging, but it is very
Maximum
rewarding if
passenger
you're
count.
rep grinding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It
Yeah.
is.
Hopefully it's up for long enough that I can actually get my Star Destroyer today. Or not today, but you know what I mean.
You're going for your Corvette?
That's what it's called. Yes.
Yes. It is a community goal, so I would assume that it is going to be around for a week.
Nice. Okay, cool. Get my Corvette. Okay.
What else now? We had dev news. Okay, let's see. Friday, fDev made a statement about botting. I don't know if I'm going to read this whole thing. Do you guys know anything about this?
Yeah, it's not worth. They got called to task because in their list of issue tracker issues, the actual, I believe it was number 5 or number 6 issue was about botting, and so when they did their summary of issues, they left that off, and a bunch of people called them out on it in a live stream, and they kind of fumbled through it on the live stream, and then they put a statement out on the forums later, basically explaining what they should have said on the live stream, which is botting is not an error to be tracked on the error tracking. That's something else, and it's not like a reproducible error we can do, and there's no game code to be corrected, and then it's an ongoing thing that they monitor all the time, and that they're always trying to catch botters and that type of stuff. And I mean, like I said, we've got a link in the show notes to the statement. You should go and read it. It actually makes sense. It's probably what they should have said live. The only thing I will add to that is, like a lot of things fDev does, they don't like to talk about it. And this is one of those things where you don't have to give us details on what you caught people and banned them for, but it would be awfully nice if occasionally there would be an update where we said we've identified, X number of bot accounts and banned them, or we identified, an exploit that we're not going to go into and we've banned X number of people. For those of us who are playing the game and don't like the botting ruining it, it would mean something to us just to know that it's being addressed.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of how they've handled, cheaters in the past. I prefer, the naming and shaming and telling us how many people are banned and, what they're actively doing to take care of it. Because, I mean, God, that was 2 years ago now that, it kind of rifled through the whole community, where somebody posted on YouTube a video of them, flat out, just parked in a station opening. I think it was at Shinrarta actually, and just the station blasting him, a bunch of pilots blasting him. It couldn't be destroyed. And it was, it was straight up just, whatever fuckery he did with the code in order to make himself invincible. And
that's some bullshit.
And we've all seen this. And one time there was this yellow dolphin flying around inside of Shinrarta, just ramming people to death. I'm watching him do it, and then he got me. I just got rammed to death by a goddamn dolphin. And I'm pretty sure I was in a Corvette at the time, which was, that shouldn't be possible. But, there are these cheater things. And CQC, I've seen it. I do know that, they, obviously ban people, because usually we see a cheater in a CQC and they're around for a couple days, never to be seen from again. It's
right.
But most of the CQC guys, they'll instantly, get a quick video and send it out, and it's so obvious, that they're cheating. When you're just shooting them and their shields aren't going down and they're turning around and then shooting at you, it's obvious that they're not disconnected. They've obviously got something that makes them invincible. They need to be making these bans public, in my opinion. That's the only tweak I do on what they do, is make this stuff public so that we know that
communication is key.
And
Yes.
communication is the one thing they've always been particularly bad at.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes. They seem to get better and then go back to radio silence. So I don't know. I don't know. Cheaters bad. Fuck you, cheaters.
There you go.
Also, apparently financial reports came out last week. I am ashamed to say I didn't check these out because I'm like a numbers nerd. I love all that stuff. And then I also love trying to read between the lines on this. I didn't get a chance to check out the financial reports or anything. And I didn't get a chance to see the Burr Pits video or Obsidian Ants video covering this. So if you guys have anything on this, I'd appreciate it.
It's not an actual financial report. It's the UK's annually mandated.
You cut out there, Nurgle.
Yeah, he's cutting out.
All right, so I'm going to try to guess what Nurgle is going to say. Something about being old and handsome and has a great mustache. Oh, hi, you're back.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you want the details, absolutely go watch Burr Pits or Obsidian Ants videos. The only thing I want to bring up about the financial statement is that there was a line in there, and Obsidian Ant covered this really well, but there's a line in there where they talked about the launch of Odyssey being marred by connectivity issues, which have largely been resolved now. And everybody's having a great experience. And if you were around for the launch of Odyssey, you will know that about the only thing that was not going on was connectivity issues.
Exactly.
But again, it's more of a marketing document than it is an actual financial disclosure. So
I cannot find it on a Google search, which is interesting.
that is interesting because I've never gone to actually look for it specifically.
Huh.
What's going on, everybody?
Oh, there's a commander data. So we're rewind to the beginning. And tonight we're joined by Lieutenant. Wait a minute, damn it, Lieutenant Commander Data. Why'd you have to do that to us, you android son of a bitch?
I've explained it before. I didn't know.
I know. So we're going to back up. We were covering some of the news.
Dubs.
Yeah, I know. Just started going with the. Nah, I'd rather go Teflon with him. I'm not confused by D names like you guys. Data, we're going to back up to the beginning of the show so that we can see how you've been, what you've been doing in game, what real life has been doing, and then we'll come back to where we were.
Yeah, I've just been pretty busy in real life between work and sports, work around the house. Been keeping me busy. Games wise, I haven't played any Elite this week. I played some at the end of last week. One of these wars we're in. I've been playing Psychonauts, the first Psychonauts game. I thought about it because Psychonauts 2 came out a week or two ago, and I was looking for a game to play and remembered I bought the first one a couple of years ago for like a penny or $1 or something like that. So I've been playing through that, and it's fun. It's a Tim Schafer game.
Okay.
It's pretty funny.
Explain Tim Schafer game for me. I'm not a big enough nerd to know what that means, I guess.
Well, I don't know what that means, but it's a Double Fine is the developer. I think he's with that company.
What else did they do that I would know?
Psychonauts 2.
Duh, I'm so dumb. Okay.
Double
You're
Fine
Googling
games
it, aren't you?
have also
Yes, he is.
has also done Brutal Legend, that Jack Black looking video game. Yeah, I don't know what else they've done.
Okay, so when you
Didn't
said it
know,
was
no.
this guy game, you just expected us to know what that was. Got it.
Yes, he did.
He always does things like that to make himself seem way smarter than us, which he is, but I hate to admit it.
To 2011 Xbox 360 exclusive Sesame Street Once Upon a Monster. They developed that game.
That sounds like an event we're going to have one of these weeks playing that for sure. Good
None of
God.
us know our alphabet, so could be pretty rough.
Now, you said sports in your list of things you've been dealing with?
Yeah, kids soccer has begun. So
Oh, God.
for
I
How old?
apologize.
I remember
Football.
this.
football for our European friends.
Football.
Well,
I did soccer
one on-
for like a. Go ahead.
Under 8 and under 6.
oh,
teams.
God. Under
Oh.
6 is painful.
Yes.
I did
Ooh,
soccer
butterfly.
when I was 7, and I only did it for like one day because apparently all I did was whenever they ran in one direction, I would run the opposite direction, and the coach had to keep yelling at me to go in the other direction, and I just wasn't
You were
getting
that-
it.
You were that kid.
I was
huh?
that kid. Then my
You-
dad just put me in front of a computer, and that was that for like the next 20 years or so.
Problem solved.
You're the kid
Wow.
sitting in the goal eating grass.
Yeah, I played
Problem
soccer
is, I'm pretty
from
sure I did do that.
I played soccer from, I don't know, probably age 8, and then I played college soccer for a year.
Oh,
and
wow.
then I played
Oh.
adult league until
Got
I
it.
was 30. But I mean, that's
Ugh.
still a long, long time ago.
Adult league, is that like you play in the nude?
We got ourselves a
That's a
whole ass
different game.
professional here.
And I played a lot of sports when I was younger. I'm just a short, little, goofy, nerdy looking guy, and people don't realize it. But like to this day, my high school record of the 100-meter dash still holds. So I ran in state meets and stuff. So yeah, I used to be an athlete. I can be
I
like
was not that
Al
at all.
Bundy.
Yeah. And for those wondering, that state meet was set in 1888.
Yeah.
Well, it was in the old Olympic rules. We ran naked too, so it was fun. That can be painful, but let's not talk about that. All right, now then we did squadron update data, and then we were just talking about the news over the last week. In case you had any takes on the cheating statement or the financial reports.
No, I mean I get it with the cheating. I guess what they don't want to talk about how they catch people, though. I mean it might be good for the morale of the community for them to mention something when they take some action to give us some feeling that they care.
Yeah.
About
That's pretty
cheating.
much the consensus.
Yeah, I thought you'd come in with some hot take about how cheaters are
They should-
people too, and why get on them?
Oh,
Let them have their fun.
I can turn heel. I cheat in the game too. I've got 10 accounts running for BD52 in B640.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nurgle.
I cheat all the time. I log out and log back on to collect engineering mats.
Yeah,
Oh wait, that's acceptable behavior. Never mind.
that is exhilarating gameplay.
So I
Oh.
did actually find the financial report. It's a lot of number speak, and Brabid came in and said that they were doing very well, which I call bullshit. But
What's he supposed to do? Come in and say the sky is falling?
it would be cathartic for me at least to know that they are suffering.
He comes on. He's openly weeping. Everything is fine.
After the past few months, he needs to at least be walking with a limp.
Yeah, amen. All right. Let's see. What else came out? Update 7 is delayed until next week due to a bug with CGs.
Somebody commented in Discord. I don't remember who it was. I like how they can nail it down to a 1 week delay to fix one bug.
Yeah. Yeah, but then if you release a fighter while winged with people, it causes massive lag and rubber banding. That
We haven't
problem's
had
been
that
around
problem, actually.
forever.
Me and Volt and a couple of our friends we're actually testing that about a month ago now, and we actually we're completely fine with using starfighters.
Earlier this week, Manituk and Nurgle ran into a big issue with it.
Yeah. We
Well, then I have no idea what's going on, and I'm not a coder.
and of course there's no absolute guarantee that it was the fighter that caused the rubber banding. All we know is that as soon as Manituk put his fighter away, the rubber banding stopped. So
Yeah. All right. We'll let that one slide. Let's see. Stream. What's community stuff playing in the currency? Yeah, all right. Then nothing on the Tuesday. They were just doing CG and crap on the stream on Tuesday. So this was their week of no news. That's why we do a shorter podcast on this week, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Yes.
Okay,
So now it's
Is
time
it-
for Chig to regale us with tales of CQC and
Wait,
maybe
is it-
some helpful tips.
Is it, fill me in, is it just damage stations right now? Is it AX combat going on in those
It's both.
both now? Okay.
Both.
Yeah, we got Thargoids, got a station burning, and there's a bunch of non-human signal sources. So you can go kill Thargoids, you can rescue people from a station.
And that's close to the bubble?
It's
They're
in the bubble, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
that
in the
is the-
bubble.
damn.
I wish it would have been in Ross 310. That'd be fun.
I kind of wanted that too.
Would have slowed down our constant expanding for sure.
Excuse me.
Okay.
So it is the Cornsar, CORNSAR system.
Horn Sar.
Porn SAR. Okay, so tonight, it is kind of a weird podcast tonight. Yeah, you're hearing voices we don't normally hear and stuff, but we're going to do some CQC as soon as this is over. So I figured before we go do that, I'd give some just run-of-the-mill CQC tips and stuff because, as everybody knows, I play way too much freaking CQC. There's the obvious, most basic stuff. In CQC, as opposed to in the regular game, pip management is far more important. You might as well have 4 or 0. It just doesn't matter. So if you're being shot, get all 4 pips in shields. You will see a massive difference. And then, try to get 2 pips in weapons at that point, so that you can shoot a little bit longer. But then you're always trying to get in a position where you're not being shot, or you shoot your chaff. If somebody shoots their chaff, quit shooting them immediately, unless you're really good at fixed weapons. Then you can untarget and try to hit them direct. But my advice, if you see bitch glitter, just stop shooting and try to get in a position, try to not be shot by them, or shoot your own glitter and try to protect yourself. But that was kind of off topic. But if you're shooting at somebody and you're not being shot, all pips into weapons so you can shoot as long as possible. Maneuvering, pips to engines. If you're having a hard time turning your ship to get facing somebody, move your pips to engines. You will turn way faster. It doesn't just affect your speed, pips. It affects your ability to turn. So keep that in mind. And people, flight assist off is good, but neither one for combat is superior to the other. If you can toggle, go back and forth is probably the best, because there's maneuvers you can do with flight assist on that you can't do with off, and vice versa. And learning when to use those is very advantageous, but don't overthink it. If you don't ever fly with flight assist off, don't try to do it just because you're in CQC. It's not going to help you. It's going to hurt you more than it'll help you. Practice that somewhere else. Main thing when you're coming to engage, take a look at your weapons. It's not like in the real game where you have damage out to 4 kilometers with some stuff, but typically, you're still doing good damage out to 2 kilometers even. In CQC, your weapon damage starts falling off on some weapons as little as 500 meters. Most are falling off. I think all start falling off at 800, and nothing has a range over 1200. And some things like the opening pulse lasers you get, after 1 kilometer, you do 0 damage. So if you're approaching somebody, do not start shooting until you're within 1 kilometer, because I love seeing somebody shooting at me as I'm flying towards them, and they're 1.5 kilometers out, because I know by the time we get into range of each other, their distributor is going to be empty, and I've got a full distributor and full pips to weapons at that point, and you're just going to get blown up really freaking fast. So keep that in mind. Little things about CQC that are unique to CQC. If you have somebody targeted, you lose line of sight, you lose target lock. If they come back into line of sight, that target lock will come back, but that's if you don't try to target something else in that time. But it is true line of sight. If you don't have line of sight, you will not be able to target somebody, and you will lose them, especially if they go around a big structure, and flip directions and boost off. You'll come around the corner and you'll have no idea where they went. The next thing you know, they're behind you, killing you. So keep line of sight in mind. Also, if you're running away, keep that in mind. If they drop off your radar, they can't see you. So that point is when you should turn and turn 90 degrees and boost. And so when they come around the corner, you're not where they thought you would be. Random little thing, the compass in CQC, that points to the middle of the arena. So if you're ever, you're flying around and all of a sudden you get the warning that you're flying out of the arena and it's like, you don't know how to get back towards the middle of the arena, just use the compass. The solid dot, that's going to be heading back into the arena. That's just a little thing that I actually just learned recently. I had no idea that the compass was really pointing at anything in CQC until the other day. The main thing is it doesn't cost you anything, so you're just having fun. If you get blown up, it doesn't mean a goddamn thing. Just you reload, you get to shoot again, you get to get blown up again, and just keep playing and have fun. Don't get annoyed or disgusted when you first start playing CQC. You are going to get annihilated by good players. It's just that there's no way around it. I don't care how good you think you are until you're doing that up close combat within a half a kilometer, within, obviously less than 1 kilometer to be shooting at all on a regular basis. You're going to struggle, but that's normal. It's like anything, you practice, you get better. And the only way to get better is to practice. So getting blown up, just enjoy it, have fun, laugh. If you start getting frustrated, just try practicing ramming the other person. Quit shooting altogether and just see if you can ram them, because that means that you're getting really precise with your ship with these little fast, zippy, small targets. If you can actually start ramming into other people, that's a skill. You're getting better. You're not killing them with your guns, so why not just try blowing them up? And last thing, power-ups. Grab your power-ups. They are almost overpowered, especially the weapons one. If you're not grabbing power-ups, you're in trouble. Situational awareness. If you see somebody grab the weapons power-up and you're not in a position to just open fire on them right at that moment, run away. Don't even bother engaging them, because they will turn around and destroy you super fast. You'd think shields would counter the weapons. No. If you've got a shields boost and they've got a weapons boost, still run away if you can. Use your glitter, run away. Stealth is probably the second most powerful one. Now, weapons is red, shields are yellow, stealth is blue, and green is speed power boost. It's basically worthless. You just take it just because you can go faster for a little bit. And let me see if there's any other little tips I've got. Playing Horizons, not Odyssey. We're playing in Horizons tonight, but anytime. The Odyssey, the lighting, trying to see a little fighter more than a kilometer out is very, very difficult with the Odyssey lighting. Yes, space is dark. We understand that, but it's almost not fun trying to get targeting something that you can't physically see. So Horizons is much better, plus better FPS, plus I don't know, not as nice of explosions, but it's still the superior product right now. And a lot of the CQC players are actually dreading when if the Horizons version goes away and they just make us play in Odyssey. We don't know if that's going to happen, but if graphical stuff from Odyssey goes live with Horizons, we're guessing that we're only going to have the one version of the graphics. So that's all I have on that. Any questions? Crickets.
Wow. I do have one question.
what is
more of
Pips?
an answer
What is
to anything
Pips?
else. Remember
Oh,
when you
sorry.
said early that 3,600 wins at 7.5 minutes per?
Yeah. Yep.
Somebody did the math. If you have a 100% winning percentage, that's 420 hours.
Yeah. Perfect. It's 420. I like it.
With a kill death ratio of 69.
Got to be. Yeah, definitely got to be
Nice.
69.
Nice.
Yeah. Dade, I was telling him that in order to get to, for combat, when you get to deadly, the rank below elite, you're halfway. In CQC, it takes 1.6 million experience to get to legend rank, which is the one before elite. So 1.6 to get to that point. It's 2 million to go from that point to elite. So you're not even halfway there when you get to legend status. It's just a ridiculous grind. And when you need 2 million XP and you get about 1,000 XP each time you win a match, that's 2,000 matches to go from legend to elite. It's a hell of a grind. So don't try tackling it unless you actually fall in love with CQC, because it's just I started out just doing it for fun, and the next thing you know, I was hooked on it. It's my favorite part of the game. So,
Woo.
but I don't know. What do you think? Should we CQC it up?
I think we should CQC it up.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Anything last on the show before we sign this bitch off? Nothing?
No, guest speaker.
Data, you got a favorite cold cut?
Favorite cold cut.
That's an odd
Yes.
request.
I like teriyaki chicken. I know I'm not Data, but I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Is that a cold cut?
Is that
Yeah.
a cold cut?
Yeah, you can get that. You can get that in a cold cut. At least you can
Okay.
in my local grocery.
So I'll give you one that I want to try because
Okay.
because
Oh,
I
Lord.
like watching like The Sopranos. I want some gabagool. Is that a cold cut?
Gabagool. Gabagool sounds like a Sesame Street character.
Give
What
me
the
some of
fuck?
that gabagool.
Gabagool.
Sorry to
Yeah.
any Italian Americans out there. I just want to try it.
Yeah, I'll take it. I was just looking for something to pair with my cheese. I was wondering, Nurgle, you got a bread?
Bread. Oh, let's go with just a good old-fashioned crusty Italian.
All right, crusty Italian with gabagool, and we'll go provolone cheese. Keep it all Italian. That's the sandwich of the week. All right, that's all we got this week. Go to loosescrews.com to buy merch. Rate us on your podcast platforms, whatever those may be. I think that's all we got. Hopefully, Trax will be showing up soon. Hade will be here, and we got guys in the lobby. Let's go pew some CQC. Just queue for Team Deathmatch. We will see you all next week.